Hey everyone, welcome to a new episode of the Red Devils Corner Kick podcast, a fan podcast dedicated to Manchester United Football Club. As always, like, subscribe, follow, whether you're listening to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or YouTube. And also you can follow through social media at Instagram, TikTok, or X. I hope everyone's enjoying their weekend. It's Sunday. We're coming off I don't know how to describe the win. We got a win this morning against Crystal Palace, to say the least. Now the game, I did do my live show. Obviously I didn't get many viewers. I'll be honest with that. I know I had people seeing it, but I didn't have any live viewers. I know I'm still debating. It was my first episode, my first live. So definitely lots to work on for that. And also, I'm not showing my face. I'm doing it all through an avatar. So there can be some hiccups and delays, but hopefully we have something going on. So hopefully I can have something for the future and make things easier. But again, it's just build. It was my first one. I wasn't expecting 1,000 fans to watch my first live show. I wasn't. It was okay. It's just me talking for 2 hours and 17 minutes. So, but yeah, today's episode is just the post game. I gave myself a little break. Kind of been watching the Arsenal Chelsea game. Listen, how would I describe it? Because again, when I was watching it too, obviously not much excitement and with my first show, but listen, we had our struggle. The United struggled today. I'm not gonna take that away. Crystal Palace did look better than us for the first 45. We did not look good. Tail end, United kind of looked a little bit better, but offensively they weren't doing squat. They weren't able to control the ball. They weren't able to do a proper transition. Shots on target was misleading because again, one was an attempted pass by Cunha to move it. A header from Sesko, and then another shot, but overall it wasn't really convincing. Crystal Palace had their opportunities. Despite Crystal Palace missing some of their key players, they were still moving the ball well when they had it. And everything changed when we got the penalty and the red card. Like Cunha, he was prevented from trying to get to go for the loose ball. It was there. Lacroix, who had a great header, a well-placed header for them to take the lead early on in the first half. Obviously the red card changed everything, and we get a penalty. We draw it up, and then a fantastic kick from Bruno to Sesko to head it in, and we take the lead. But there were still times where Crystal Palace was still moving the ball well. They just couldn't finish because, again, A, they're down a person, B, they didn't have their top striker. Mateta wasn't playing. He's out injured. But Crystal Palace had opportunities earlier on to take chances and win, and they played better for the first 45 minutes. And a little bit to the half, we kind of looked like we were shaking it up. But United were chasing. United were a step behind, I felt, the whole entire game. Nobody was really doing much. It's a tale of two halves. And when watching this here, listen, I've said it before, Michael Carrick is a caretaker right now. That's all he is at this moment. And he's playing to what the players can do. And when they're playing these teams, like when they're playing against some of these teams, they play like shit. They're getting results and wins. Listen, a win is a win at the end of the day, yes. But we can't always rely on red cards because this is just like the Tottenham game. This is a perfect example. This is a replica of the Tottenham game, except Crystal Palace scored first. That's the thing. We got a red card in our favor, a penalty, and we scored to win it. But we had to chase to get to it. We were chasing, and also we needed something in our favor to help us win. That's the thing. We were struggling. Bruno, like our back four, like Shaw, before the knock was not playing well. He was definitely steps behind. He wasn't carrying the ball past half. You may have seen him once go in, but that was it. There was no clear connection between from the midfield. From that time, it wasn't until that we were up, we had the man advantage that you see something involvement with the midfield. But yeah, there's nothing to transition from our back to our front. There was nothing there. The attack was lame. We were relying on crosses, weren't taking advantage of open spaces to move the ball in transition. There wasn't any progress when I was watching the first half, and that was the concerning part. That was it. So as much as we are getting results, we're in third now. Cool. That won't mean anything until the end of the season because, again, it's great that we're in third now, but talk to me in May. Talk to me at the end of the year, where we are. And are we replicating this? This is great now. This is. But right now, we're at a point. And I don't want to hear about, if Amarim wasn't the manager, we let him go, we would be in a different spot. Let's hold off there for a second there. By the way, I love when fans are not ever criticizing players. They blame the manager. Nobody's been blaming our captain who missed 2 penalties. Nobody's blaming Cunha or Mbeumo for missing their game-winning penalty shots in Grimsby. Nobody's blaming the players who don't show up and follow instructions. So the spins that have now been coming out saying that, it's easier to handle everything. Again, there's a load of shit going on with spins with this club. And that's the worst part of it. And again, please check out the manager episode. When I said the manager is going to be Michael Carrick, and I explained why in that episode that he's going to be. They're going to be spinning it in the favor of Michael Carrick because it would be the easier thing to do. It is. It's saying that, we tried to look. You can spin about all the different managers that are targets that want to be here. You can talk about that. And right now you're looking at a manager who hasn't lost a game in 7. He's won 6 and drawn 1. We have 10 games to go. The question is, what do we do against Newcastle next week? But yeah. But yeah, going back to the game, again, we needed a hand. We needed a red card to help us to get us back into it. We needed that outcome. I mentioned it in the watch along. When I'm watching it, Cunha, I didn't think it was going to be a penalty. He impeded them from getting towards the ball. I thought it was just going to be a free kick outside the box. They rewarded it a red and then gave it the penalty. So, yeah, it does annoy you, especially when you had something similar like that against Brentford. Though, obviously, later on, we found out that it should have been rewarded to us as a red, and everything does change. So, but that doesn't help us at all. And then, yeah. But we know inconsistencies with this refereeing, not just this referee, but just refereeing the season in general, not just us, but all over. If you were watching the Leeds match against City yesterday, there were some issues there. Leeds manager is not available for next game because he's got a straight red, but the ref just gave him a red as the manager was coming there. But when we look at it here, going back to the game, yeah, we needed a helping hand when playing against Crystal Palace. We were there. Talk all you will about comeback and all this stuff. We needed them to F up. We were not doing anything. Offensively, we were doing nothing. We were just throwing shots in the box. We couldn't transition. We couldn't do anything. And Kobe Mainoo, I almost said Garnacho. Kobe Mainoo, Casemiro weren't doing anything in the middle. We had to sub early because Shaw, again, like I mentioned, wasn't playing great in the first couple minutes. He looked like 2 steps behind. The whole squad looked 2 steps behind. Crystal Palace had played the match on Thursday. We played on Monday. We had more time to rest than them, and we're the ones that look out of shape. Because we're reducing practice time. We're reducing intensity. Because once a week, and the occasional, 1 game, 2 games in 5 days is what, come on. like I said, if Carrick is going to be the manager, it's not going to be like what it is right now. There will be a change. There has to be a change. And I made a little comment too, seeing Barada and Wilcox at the end, they're looking like geniuses right now. No, because we're in the same spot as we were with them. Just because we're doing this now doesn't mean it's going to work out well, because we're going to need players. They're going to try and work around and be stubborn and try to make it sound like they're the geniuses when they bring on Carrick next year. But it's not going to be the case. They're already looking at Carrick to be the manager. From the way I read, it's my opinion. Like I said, on Thursday, I gave my opinion. I gave 9 manager names. I broke it down to who the 3 would realistically be and who the 1 is going to be. So yeah, but yeah, it's yeah. We struggled again. Like, to say that there was an improvement in the second half, we were a man up. We didn't go out and dominate. We didn't do whatever. We needed something there. What's happening here with this club and what Wilcox and all of them want them to do is not sustainable for the club. It's not. And the manager that comes in is, again, like I said, this ownership's going to find a cheaper way. It's cheaper for them to sack a manager than to do what it needs to be done. So, but yeah, going back to the game, yeah, great. We won. I'll take the win. Red cards happen. We sometimes get those advantages in our favor. But at the end of the day, United struggled. It was an awful game today. It was awful. It was not a good game by any means for United standards. It was in the end, the Sesko goal was great, but are we getting that draw if are we getting that draw if we don't get that red card? Realistically, we may have, again, near the end of the second half, there was opportunities, but offensively, we weren't doing anything. Offensively, we were struggling. Crystal Palace was the better squad. We were chasing them. So maybe we get the draw, maybe we don't. We don't get the win without the red. So, but yeah. I mean, I'm kind of all over this point with the review and with the post game and everything, but it's not sustainable what's happening with this way. We can't continue to play this way. We can't. So listen. Yeah, we can't maintain it. We can't. So yeah, okay. But yeah, I don't think it's maintainable. And then we're playing Newcastle, which when we played them that time on Boxing Day and we won, if Newcastle knew how to hit the fucking bars or the net, we're not winning that either. Newcastle brought pressure to us. We're going to have a challenge when we play them on Tuesday. Or on Wednesday, sorry. And I'll be doing the post-game Tuesday night. Or not the post-game, the preview Tuesday night. So there's a lot of issues going on, and we need to work on a few things. So there's going to be struggles. We're going to struggle. If we go off the way we did today to start the match, we're going to be struggling again, and we're hoping that we're getting a red. The United are going to be asking for help. The way we started, the way we were playing, going into half, cool. Start of the second half, okay, yeah, but we needed help to win. Without the red, we're not winning that game. It's shown there. And even so, there were times there where Crystal Palace was still moving the ball. They were still finding ways to move it. They're still moving through our midfield. They're out there on the outsides. They found ways to get in. They just couldn't capitalize because, again, A, they're a man down. B, the quality. They were missing players. Again, if Mateta is there, sorry, I do have the Chelsea the Chelsea Arsenal game on right now as I'm recording. It was a nice save by Rhea. But it just, yeah. We did not play well today. Let's just leave it there at that. A win is a win. We'll take it. But then again, if we're playing Arsenal or Man City, the quality is going to even be like they're going to up their quality because in their style of play because they're playing the big six if they show up. They're getting wins, but they're getting some help. So, and obviously every City, every United fan, every person in the league right now is rooting for Chelsea in this match. But like I said, if it's coming down to it, and I mentioned it, for a new manager, they'll be doing Carrick as a default because of what he's doing. And they're going to spin it to make it sound like, oh, wow, we did a chase. We did the right thing. So let's get to player ratings. I can keep going on about what I said on Thursday. But player ratings, Lemens, I'll give him a 6. Yeah, I think I'll give a 6. No, 6.5. I'll give him a 6.5. He only had 3 shots on target, but he made some things there. Maguire, 6.5. Yeah, 6.5. Him and Euro together, both 6.5. Shaw, when he was on, I'm going to give him a 5. He wasn't playing well, and even before, like, the knock was, he wasn't playing well. The low, 6. Sesko, 7.5. Bruno, 8, you can say. Casemiro, Mainu, I'm going to give 6s. Actually, you know what? No. Sesko, I'm going to give a 7. Bruno, I'm going to give a 7.5. Don't get me wrong, the kick, the assist and everything was great, and that's what Bruno's there for. But at the end of the day, too, when we were playing, like, as much as he got a goal and a goal and an assist, we needed the man advantage to do that. We needed a red card. Before that, the offense wasn't doing shit. He had opportunities. We were there, but nothing was working out well. Casemiro, Mainu, 6, and I think that's a generous 6. I kind of want to give him the same as last week, the 5.5. In Mbeumo, I'm giving him a 6. Cunha, yes, he does contribute to the red, but at the same time, too, I'm still giving him a 6. Ahmad came on, 6. Heaven, Mazraoui, 6. Xerxes, 6. It's like, these are 6s that are just, we got the win, they held on, but it's not a proud 6. Like, it wasn't. It's, you know what, we had, like, some of them, I'm just, you know what, I'll be nice today. We got the win. It's not sustainable. Yeah, I'm gonna give a 6. That's it. Like, Sesko doesn't get the goal. Yeah, like if Bruno doesn't do what he does, he's not getting a 7.5. Some of them are, I'm giving everyone a 6 because we got, Lemens 6.5, Maguire, Euro, Delo, like Shaw was a 5. Like, it wasn't because of the injury; he wasn't doing well. And Delo was okay. He played a little bit better than Shaw, I felt. But that's my player ratings again. So 6.5 for Lemens and Maguire and Euro. Shaw, Delo, Shaw 5, Delo 6, Sesko 7, Bruno 7.5, Casemiro 6, Mainu 6, and Mbeumo 6, Cunha 6, Ahmad 6, Heaven 6, Mizrahi 6, Xerxes 6. I'm just going to give everyone an average, and that is a generous thing that I'm doing. Some deserve less, but we got the win. We're up in third, so I'll be generous today. But if they come out like this on Newcastle, I'm going to have to come out even worse on my thing. But again, Manu struggled. Casemiro struggled. It wasn't until the second half where we go up the man advantage that they kind of showed, hey, we can move the ball. But Manu doesn't do much. Like, again, the transition from the back to the front wasn't there. The midfield wasn't. Even with a man advantage, Crystal Palace was still moving the ball. But I'll be generous today. That's how I'll leave it. So, but yeah, it's a win, but it's not a win that many of us are happy with. So, I'll leave it there. I'll be back Tuesday. No episode tomorrow. I'll be back Tuesday. Preview against Newcastle. Hopefully we're healthy and good to go. So keep an eye out for that. And then, then we're off until the 15th. No men or women's matches until the 15th. So that'll be exciting for me to try and get something organized, to say the least. So, but yeah, I'll talk to you guys on Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy the Arsenal-Chelsea match. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, follow, whether it's YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. And also follow on social media, Instagram, TikTok, or X. This is the Red Devils Corner Kick Podcast. Glory, glory, Man United.